Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Leeds are shit. We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We had a good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute bellend.
I think about things. That's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped.
The absolute elite shithousery of this. Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of the Ought to Know Better podcast. I am your host for this evening. I'm Gilly and I'm joined by my admirable assistant, Jay. How are we doing tonight, Jay?
Glad there's no football for a bit.
Well, we've got Scum first.
Oh, have we got another game before the break?
I think so. It's Scum next and then
the break. Thought we'd do the international break now.
International break. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
I know that it's like a
worse
month until our next home game.
Fuck me. Nothing in my calendar there.
Have I got that wrong?
I think you've got that wrong.
Oh, yeah. It's not until... Oh, no, yeah. We've got West Ham, haven't we? So, yeah, there's the international break and then West Ham and then Scum.
You come on here and make me think I'm doing fucking mad from the off. Do you know what I mean? It's bad enough the shit I get on there. I don't need you to make me think I'm doing marbles as well.
And West Ham away is going to be Charlie's first ever away day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. So you thought you'd take him to worst one? Where you can't speak
well, yeah.
Yeah. Treat
It's only
like
uphill from there.
Hustled around into this fucking ground. Everything costs a fortune, and then you can't see fuck all.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Yeah, have a good one.
We've been in, I think, all but one or maybe two ballots for away tickets this season. This is the first we've got, so we're going.
It's incredible, isn't it? I said it before. Someone needs to do a freedom of information request at the end of the season to find out what percentage of people that applied actually got a ticket, and then of those people that got a ticket, I want to know how many of them got more than one.
Well, feel free. He's not stopping you.
I'm going to do it. Honestly, I'm starting a campaign. You've seen it here. I'm starting a campaign. We're going to get to the bottom of this away ticket shit, and I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it, all right? I'm going to do it, because I already know.
Well, if you get that information, I can relay it to my friends and my colleagues on the board of the Leeds United Supporters Trust, of which I am now a member of the board. So
there you go.
You never know. We can come and fix stuff. You never know.
Well, you can try. Now, you better make sure none of them watch this because you won't be on that board very long.
They do. They actually do. And they've let me in. So on their own head be it now. Before we get into it though, I just want to show that I am repping the merch. So there is a QR code up here. Click that and you can have a look at some of our stuff. You can have a look at our mugs and hats and go on. You can say it, Jay. Go on.
Johnny Brown, friend of the pod, he says, "Hey Jay, who's that lad with you? Don't recognise him."
The latest pod dodger. Is that it?
Clearly been missed.
I covered plenty for Luke early on in the season. Let's leave it that way.
You did. I'm not going to give you any shit. Someone covered me the other week, so it might have been you.
I did cover Carl more recently than that, but it could have been as well. Yeah. So yeah, no, fair play though. I have dodged a couple. We could keep putting it off, but we're going to have to address it at some point. We need to talk about the Brentford game. It is what we're here for. It is what we're here for. Let's start off with so the lineup. We're at home. We've got two up top. We've got three at the back. No Gabby, obviously, because of the awful decision making. But no Gabby. But with the five across the midfield, three at the back, two up front. I think beforehand there was a feeling of that's about as good as it could have been in terms of the lineup. I would have made one change that people will absolutely be shocked by. But when you saw the lineup, what did you think?
It was what I expected, pretty much. I was slightly surprised to see him put Metcher and Calvert-Lewin in again, but I was really pleased to see it. Now, that's where it kind of stopped, because we had two strikers on paper, but on the pitch, he might as well have put Willie Gnonto in there, or Okafor if he was back and fit, because why are you playing Metcher on the left or out wide or whatever, the guy, I don't want to slag him off too much because he's scored some important goals and hopefully he'll score a few more. Goal scorer, fucking great. Footballer, not so much. He's not somebody that I want to see out trying to work a way in from the wing and stuff, and try to bring other people into play because he's not that kind of player.
No, agreed.
He's not somebody who's going to make intricate touches and jink past people. We've seen him go past people and he's used his strength well, but it tends to be more the exception than the rule with him. He's not very good at the technical side of things, getting past people and creating space and things for me. And the link-up play from him is shocking at times. It moves break down with him quite a lot. But then you get him in the right place at the right time and he'll bang one in. We've seen that. So if you're going to play him up front.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think we've said before, there was a 3-4-3 tried 2 or 3 times in a row, and it ended up Aronson kind of out on the right and Metra kind of out on the left with DCL in the middle, and it just didn't work. And I absolutely fully agree. He's not, you look at Okafor, and we didn't find him much when he did come on, but when he got on the ball, you could see that they backed off because they're worried about his intricacy and his quick feet. Yeah. So that's fine when you've got somebody that can stand up a defender and can go left or right. The defenders are then asking their teammates to come and double up on a player because they're going to get beat. With Metra,
you leave a runner in the middle because someone's
exactly. Yeah, but with Metra, it's that he's got pace and he's got power. So if he's in a running race with somebody, or if he's got beyond them already, it's really difficult for somebody to get back at him because he uses his body well and he's fast.
Yeah.
But if you stand him up as a defender, you're quite comfortable.
Yeah, he's got no moves he's got no tricks or anything.
He's not going to drop a shoulder and then
he's
dance around you and he's gone, is he?
Yeah.
No, so I would absolutely agree with that. I think potentially it's a different story if you've actually got the two up front. And it wouldn't have necessarily been an issue actually having Aronson in midfield either. Now, we can touch on the Gabby thing because I've already mentioned it. And I think I saw a comment or two from you about not having a go at Justin in any way, but because he's not that natural left footer, he gets into a good position, but he's looking to come back on his right, and he don't have that outlet, the natural outlet that Gabby offers.
It's the same thing that we complain about with Sam Byram. But obviously, I would say Justin is a better all-round player than Sam Byram by quite a margin at this point.
Yeah, he's done really well. I mean, he deserved his player of the month, didn't he? He got player of the month, and he fully deserved it.
It's been great for us.
He has some really, really important blocks and pretty good on the ball. I have no issue with him in that regard. But you are right that he gets, if it opens up in front of him, he's not going to go down the wing and play in a good cross with his left, or at least that's not what we see from him. So that does harm us a little bit. But I think if you'd have had Aronson in that 3 in midfield and Metra and DCL up front, genuinely up front together, that'd have been a much more solid formation, even without Gabby's overlapping runs. Yeah, and you'd have been looking at Bogle to actually get the ball in rather than trying to be that attacking impetus. So
absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating on that front.
Yeah, I don't understand what Nonto needs to do to get a game. Like, I know, yourself included, maybe you might be like, well, he's not done much when he's come on. It's just, surely it's better than putting Metra there. If Okafor's not fit, surely it's better than putting Metra there.
So if you're gonna ask him to do a job on the left, I think I would pick Nonto over anybody other than Okafor.
Exactly.
And Okafor were only coming back from injury, so yeah. If that's what I would have started Metra, but I would have started him genuinely up front alongside.
I think most people would have. I don't think anybody would have said don't play Metra and put Nonto in if they thought that we were going to play 2 up front, because a lot of us have been crying out for that.
Yeah.
And we've done our best work with 2 strikers.
Yeah.
Defenders don't know how to cope with it. We've said this a million times. Farke knows this.
Yeah, and I don't mind Okafor playing just off DCL. If you're gonna play that again, I know it's just coming back from injury, but I don't mind Okafor doing that role just off DCL either. I think him and Metra are both capable of doing that, but they need to be close to him. He's going to win the ball. You need somebody close to him, and so I think that were a bit of a miss. I think in terms of the defence and the four in midfield, let's say, and the keeper. Darlow's not done anything wrong to be dropped, so it'll be a different matter maybe when we come round to the FA Cup game and we'll see Perry come in. I think probably for that, but
probably
the what's that? The 8 behind the front 3, if we say it that way. I think that's pretty spot on. I think everybody would have gone that way, right?
I think so, yeah.
With Gabby not being available.
Yeah, I think so. It makes it twice as bad, though, doesn't it? Gabby not being there and having Metro on the wing instead of Okafor. You've lost that entire side, basically, tactically.
Yeah. So, okay. So we'll address the elephant in the room.
Go on.
I would have very much definitely dropped Aronson here, which will be a surprise to absolutely nobody. And I would have played Longstaff. It was interesting to me that Tanaka came on later in the game rather than Longstaff. But Longstaff, for me, has got that ability to put in a big, meaty challenge and get people up and off the seat and whatever else, where you have to sit down. And unfortunately, I were in the West Stand, so I was sat down for large stretches of the game, I'm afraid. I would have started Longstaff in there. For one, the experience he's got. The one thing that you can say about Jordan Henderson, I've spoken about him at length, and I don't need to go into any detail. But he's got a lot of experience, and I think that playing an experienced player against him would have not necessarily been a bad thing in there. So I would have maybe gone Longstaff in there, but that's the only change I would have made. Yeah, not necessarily to the formation, but the actual starting lineup.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in his own mind, he probably thought we were going to be an attacking side against Brentford. And it just didn't work out that way. Because if you weren't going to go for that, then surely you would have put Longstaff in. But for some reason, he seems to choose Gruev ahead of him when he does want someone more gritty and defensive. But you'd have thought Longstaff, after that goal and stuff, he's a bit buzzing, get him in team.
Yeah.
Reward him.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it was a hell of a goal, that. And it'd have been walking on, he'd have been on cloud 9 after that. And I was really, really hoping, because obviously DCL got his call up just before the game, and I was really hoping that he would have been walking on air coming into it. I really thought that he would, and so I think in that regard, I was really hoping that we would get at him and we would play in an attacking formation. I was comfortable with the lineup, but we'd play attacking football, take the game to them, get in the faces, and let's get DCL firing again. And that would have been my hope. Yeah. And then goes away with England. Let's face it, he's probably going to get half of a game, so that Tuchel can have a look.
Yeah.
So him to go away there. So it was a little bit. It was frustrating. I mean, you look at the entirety of the first half. If you look at the attack momentum, first 15 minutes, Brentford were fully in the game. In fact, they had the. If you look at it, I've got the momentum graph here. I've not taken a screen print of it, but I will do, and we can talk about it.
Sure. Yeah.
For the first 10-15 minutes, they were the one that had the momentum. After that, it were only tiny little patches. But I were really hoping that we would start that game on the front foot,
like we often do at home. That's what you think you're going to get.
Yeah. So what did you put that down to?
I don't know. The atmosphere was strange. We didn't come at them. We seemed subdued from the off, and it felt to me for long periods of that game that we were playing for a draw. And for me, that's unforgivable at home against a side like that. I mean, I say a side like that. I'm not saying they're by no means shit, but we've shown that we can outperform anyone outside of the sort of top 4 on our day at home, including some in the top 4 at times, But I don't understand why we seemed to be so timid at times in the beginning sort of part of it, because normally it's kick-off, crowd roars, we go at them, and that's how it starts. And we do that for 10-15 minutes. We all say, wish we'd have scored while we had that period on top, and then anything can happen after that. But it were kind of the other way. It were like they came out of the blocks, but then fizzled out. But then when they fizzled out, we didn't step up.
Yeah, and you can see that there, can't you? You can see They had lion's share of it, first 10, 15. Then we had the ball, but really did nothing with it, according to the graph. So for anybody listening on the audio pod, I've got the momentum graph up. It does show that they only had very, very small patches after that first 15 minutes in the game where they did anything at all. And it also shows the attacking intent that we had right at the end of the game. But the frustration for me is you look at that and you think, well, why weren't we pressing our advantage? And I think you're right. It felt, I don't think we were, but it felt in the game like both sides would have gone, do you know what? I'll take a draw.
Yeah.
Now they're going for Europe.
They've
had a good season. At the start of the season, when they brought Keith Andrews in, I thought, started. That's one definitely for the drop. Yeah. And it's not borne out that way. Absolutely not.
He's probably got some decent coaches there with him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's a very well-run club. Yeah, it is a very well-run club, and they've got some good players. You know, Thiago's had a magic season. Sharda looks really good.
Very good at finding players.
Henderson, I still think is dog dirt, and I thought he was in the game. Pinnock,
me too.
Pinnock's an awful. He was an above-average central defender in the Championship.
Yeah,
and that's his level. And we didn't get at him at all.
No, it's disappointing. It was just hard to watch, man. At times, it was hard to watch because you were waiting for it to get going.
Yeah,
the entire game, and then we get to the final part, and they say, 5 minutes or whatever like that. And suddenly we're having a go again. Why do we wait? Why do we do that?
Yeah, and why does it need changes? You know, we're in that position where we're waiting for somebody to come on and change the game. And I'm not Farke out. You know, I had me wobble early on in the season, as I think most Leeds fans actually did. Some irrationally hated him all the way through. Some backed him all the way through. I think the vast majority, probably 80%, if not more, of fans in that run through Villa, Man City, up to half time, you know, that run there, we're thinking, shit.
Yeah.
We've got a really tough run coming. We've had a really poor run of form, and then half time at Man City happened, and we've covered it a lot. But then it was a case of actually he can be dynamic and he can make changes and he can affect the game. So, but it does feel like we've regressed back to the only time it changes is in a personnel change, not a formation change. Others are doing that differently.
I was going to say this. It's like I'm worried now that like either he's shown that he's not entirely sure what to do at times, or the players have gone to shit. And either way, it's not a good situation.
It's not.
Something's not what it was a few weeks back, because all that momentum we had seems to have fizzled out now. And everybody's talking about Leeds might draw the way to safety. You know, we're 3 points between about 4 of us or something, or 3 of us or something. But that
I think there's 4 points between us and West Ham, isn't there? So West Ham have had an actual good run of form, which is a real shame, because if they'd have not started that run of form, they'd have been gone.
Yeah.
But they've had a run of form, and it feels a little bit like ours did, because we had a really good run of form through some very difficult games, but we smashed Palace, we smashed Chelsea. And you looked at table and we were still right down there, and you're like, no, but hang on a minute, we've scored loads of goals and we've won loads of points. How can we still be down there? And I think West Ham are probably feeling quite similar, that they've had a good run, albeit they were beaten by Villa, which we were all hoping for, obviously. But and then whatever happened with Spurs is just very, very Spursy at the moment. But that cluster of us and that group of us. You would think that if you put a run of 4 or 5 games where you're not getting beat and you're picking up a couple of wins, would jump you up the league, like it did with Brighton, like it did with Palace. And it just didn't with us, and it hasn't with West Ham either. It's really strange.
The only sort of positive out of that is that at some point the West Ham players might start to sort of lose their heads a bit, like, fucking hell, we put all this effort in, we worked so hard.
And they've lost Somerville.
Somerville's
still injured, and they were flying, weren't they?
Yeah. It's a hope that will affect them at some point. But, on the other hand, they might just be like, well, come on, lads, we've got this far, we're going to keep going. You don't know. We've got to worry about us, and we've got to do our thing, and everything's in our own hands right now. But that could change in like 2 game weeks from where we are now. We could be there. And we have to be mindful of that and start looking like we're trying to fucking put some distance between us again, because we had a 9-point gap at one point to West Ham.
Yeah.
And we were always going to lose some of that with the games coming up and stuff like that. It's just how it falls. It were obvious. But, you know, we've come to a point now where, are we back to where we were before Man City, or is it just a crappy run and we're going to come good? You don't know. And if we're back to how we were before Man City for this running, we are fucked, because that Leeds team was going down fast.
It was. But I think also, you know, it needs to be recognised that not only are we not scoring goals, but we're not conceding.
No, that's right. The defence is doing its job.
It's 3 clean sheets in a row. And I think, you know, Biol coming back in, the strike booking was frustrating, especially when, you know, and again, the strike and Bogle were booked close to one another, and then you see other challenges come in from opposition, and you think, well, surely that's a bookie. So, you know, I thought Gillett got quite a bit wrong in terms of the frustrations that we saw. But you look at Rodon, Biol, and Strike, and you then add in what's been a really good season since he came in for JJ. But Gabby and Bogle have played well as well. I think, you know, I've got no complaints, and you know, you can throw in both keepers and Ampadu into that, and Gruev when he plays as well. You know, I think they've all been very solid this season, and
it's been as good as you could hope for from a newly promoted team.
Yeah, and the likes of Biol, you know, brand new into country, brand new into club,
different level for him, isn't it?
And I think he's done well. I think Stack coming back in, maybe a bit rusty. He had a couple of games out, a few games out, so maybe a little bit rusty. But yeah, our attacking intent just seems to have dried up, doesn't it? When one of your best chances is Ampadu having a long range shot.
I don't understand it. I don't get it, and it's strange to see from a manager that played as a striker for me. But like, what I want to know is, does he not see what we see, that every time he makes those late subs, it does change the game. We do suddenly have more attacking impetus. So why are you leaving it so late in a game against a side that is there to be beat? They weren't pulling up any trees. So from the
very much like Sunderland, it felt, didn't it?
Yeah. Why are you not trying to influence that game? Well, there's still some game left to influence. Why? You know, I get this whole, like, he's got quite a loyalty to his players type thing, and Farke, when he's got his bunch, and you know, but like you can't just like keep letting people play on in the hope that they're going to turn around an average or a crappy performance. Like, give them 10 minutes, 15 minutes after half time. If it's not working, make the change, please. Sometimes do it at half time. Like, Aronson should have been off at half time.
So Smarty made the same point, didn't he? I can't.
He did, yeah.
You did. But yeah, should have been off at half time. Too physical for him. Thought Tanaka did well. I agree with all of that.
Yeah, me too.
When Tanaka came on, I thought to myself, I'd have quite liked to see Longstaff there.
Yeah, you worry a bit now, don't you? That Tanaka's a little lightweight because he's not been
a little bit, yeah. But
I still like Tanaka.
One of the biggest frustrations for me is 2 or 3 of the goals that Tanaka scored this season. He scored unopposed at the back post. Strike one and header, and it just felt at back post. And if somebody had been there, it's just a tap in. And you're like, no, where is? And then you look, he's the one that's anchoring on the edge of the box. And you're like, oh, well, so if it comes out and recycle it, it's him that's looking for it. And then
he can't strike him. So.
Well, the next corner we had, he hit a good shot, and it was going in. It looked like it was going in bottom corner, and their lad kind of flicked it with the outside of his boot, and it just went for a corner. So you're like, yeah, okay, fair, because he can hit a ball as well.
Game.
It was. But talking of frustrations, talking of Jared Gillett,
okay,
talk to me about Kelleher. How fuming were you? It's so obviously cheating. How is it that it's not been resolved yet?
I'm just fed up now, because it's going to start causing trouble in the stands and stuff, because people are fuming. People are sick of it. There's been things discussed. I saw Henry Winter wrote a bit about it on Twitter. He normally talks sense, to be fair. And he said something about the nominating a player to go off, an alternative idea apparently is that if a keeper's down injured, all the players have to stand in the centre circle, all the outfield players.
Yeah. So,
and then you can't have your little sideline fucking team talk. It's bullshit.
And
Why don't we just go fucking American, separate into fucking quarters and have timeouts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've seen a couple. One of them was you nominate a player. Another one was the captain. And if your captain's got to go off for 30 seconds, then that's going to impact it. But at the moment, it is. So somebody did ask. Apologies, I don't think I did.
Do you know what though? Before you go, if they do that, where it's a nominated player, they go off behind the goal. They don't go off at the dugout where they get full set of instructions in their ear.
But equally, it needs to be nominated by the opposition.
Sure, yeah.
Not nominated by the team.
Yeah.
By their opposition.
By the opposition captain.
He's the one that's coming off.
Yeah.
Or manager to fourth official. Which one of these players would you want to come off? Yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah, we'll have Sharda or we'll have Thiago. Something has to be done. The Premier League's, whatever you think of the Premier League, the brand is being affected, and they shouldn't be standing for that, if nothing else. I've got no faith in them making the right decision for the fans, because as long as they're getting their pound of flesh, they don't give a shit. But I am shocked that they haven't done something that is stopping their brand. It's affecting their brand, and I think that's the bit that's the surprise to me, that they've not acted yet. Because
I'll tell you what.
How many matches has that happened with us now? 5, 6 this season?
Yeah, I know. You wait till somebody does it to Arsenal or City or something, and they kick off. Then there'll be a rule change. Yeah. No one cares. Well, it's us down the bottom of the table. We don't wield the power for him to give a shit.
Yeah.
That's the sad state of modern football.
It is. And that is where the power is, isn't it?
We hate modern football, don't we, on this podcast?
We do. Especially at this level.
We're old, aren't we?
Bin VAR. Book the keeper for cheating, because it's outright cheating.
Yeah. Bring back full contact.
Yeah. So I think there's absolutely something needs to be, and it was so very, very, very obvious, because he was absolutely fine after he'd got up.
It's disgraceful.
Andrews is on the sideline going, right, okay, come over. It was immediately after we'd made a change. It's not even like it was subtle. We'd made a change, and by the time our players had got on, then he just sat down. And we all saw it coming.
Absolute bullshit.
Yeah,
refereeing, everything. It's terrible. Something else I noticed the other night when Newcastle got beat. Did you see how much extra stoppage time Newcastle were given at home? There was about 2 minutes past the allotted time because something happened in that time. When we played Newcastle, there was no extra stoppage time, despite all that shit with their players going down. Yeah. This is the double standard that you're fighting against.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's ridiculous.
So Slim Hood do second. I'm advocating for this. In South America, he would be killed.
Is this the referee or the keeper?
I'm presuming it's the keeper, but it could be either.
I like to think it's the ref. I like to think that they don't, they can't rest, like looking over the shoulder.
Didn't a Colombian get shot for missing a penalty or something?
Yeah,
or the keeper
continued. They were in the World Cup, on it about 20 years ago or something.
Yeah, I seem to remember it was Colombia. But he's responded. He's saying ref. Ref gets shot.
I was going to make a joke about the refs, looking over the shoulder. It should be like certain people in prison that need to look over the shoulder all the time, but that's as much as I'll say.
Moving on from that.
So you can gather what I'm inferring there. We'll leave it at
that. I can. Yeah, we'll move on from that. So we covered the starting lineup. So and we have kind of said that later on in the game we did see a difference. So we'll talk about them. Tanaka, Okafor, James all came on. We saw some impetus. Which of the three stuck out for you?
The fullback Shins saw some impetus. Do you know? I'll be completely honest and say I can't fully remember what I saw by that point when everyone came on. All that's burned into my brain is visions of balls over the top to Dan James and him squandering crosses. I can't remember anything that any of the subs did.
So there were one Dan James cut in on his left and put a decent ball in, but there was nobody at the back post.
I remember that one, yeah.
Okafor cut in from the left and hit a shot at the near post. It were fairly easy save for Kelleher. But I think that the introduction of Okafor made a difference because they're worried about him and because they were looking to double up.
Yeah.
I thought Dan James did all right. Again, he's going to be rusty because he's not played much.
Yeah. He's
but
not
the
getting
same
minutes.
for Tanaka.
He's not getting minutes. You need a guy like that ready to go off the bench. He's got a bit of sprint down the line. Not somebody that's going to come on and he's going to be worried that I'm going to get a fucking muscle injury if I run too fast because I've not played for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know
and he's struggling with his hamstrings.
Guys oiled. Yeah.
But yeah, we've got to use them because if you don't, when they come on, they look rusty. So it goes back to your point about just if it's not working and you make subs a bit earlier, then the subs that you bring on are going to be better in the next game because they'll have had more minutes in this one.
Exactly. Make a change earlier, give it a chance. If it don't work, you've got some minutes into them.
Yeah. Yeah. So Paul Brennan is making that point here actually. So he says both defences are outstanding. Brentford a good team going for European football. Daniel made his subs far too late, and Dan James' last 10 minutes was too late. I mean, 83rd minute he came on, and that was for strike. So that was a formation change. But again, that could have happened quite a bit earlier.
It could.
So
we could have coped with them with 4 at the back for that last sort.
They weren't offering anything, were they?
That's what I mean. We could have switched it 20 minutes to go and had a proper go at them.
And they brought on Utara and took off Sharda for him. So it's not like they'd gone with a 3 up front and they were trying to push for anything or all like that. They swapped an attacker for an attacker just for a bit of fresh legs. Utara's quick as well as Sharda, but
they just stuck what they were doing there, didn't they? And we didn't try to take advantage of it.
Yeah, agreed. So, sorry, just going back to the Kelleher piece. I'm going to wave a magic wand and all of a sudden, just for 5 minutes, you're in charge. You're the man making the rules for the Premier League.
Fucking hell.
Which approach do you take?
I think for me, it's the nominating a player to go off.
By the opposition. Nominated by the opposition.
That then gives a tactical advantage to the opposition. So there's no way anybody's faking an injury going down like that and risking that. Because as a manager, you know what it's like when they do something silly. So you're in a tense game, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We're playing West Ham last game of the season. New rules come in because they've had enough. They decide to go for this tactical break to try and steer this game and try and stay in the Premier League or whatever. And then a player gets sent off the pitch for 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, and we choose who that is. And then we score a goal. Their manager gets absolutely destroyed for doing that. If that happens, managers just wouldn't allow it to happen. Igor Tudor might do it, but I don't think anyone else would.
No, fair play. No, I recognise I put you on a spot. Steve Brown's got a question for you. Why are goalkeepers treated differently for injuries? If they get injured, they should have to go off for 30 seconds like other players without a sub. That will stop goalkeepers going down for a team chat to take the place.
I think it's because if a keeper goes off and there isn't a sub keeper, you can put an outfield player in goal, can't you? But they have to then put all the gloves on, all that. So I think the time it would take logistically to put someone in goal,
they're not
going to let you play without it, because then it's like the game's open to rigging and all sorts. You could bribe a keeper.
It's an even longer break then, isn't it?
Take a little injury and go off. Do you know what I mean? And how's anyone going to ever prove that he didn't have a twinge or whatever? It's just they're not going to leave an open goal with no one in it. It destroys the game as a spectacle, and it influences the game too much. It's just not going to happen.
I get the reason he's asking, because then they won't go down.
I do.
You wouldn't see him going down for injury, but sometimes, like Jamal Blackman broke his leg. Sometimes he could get injured. So
get up, you bum.
So sometimes they are real, but that would definitely resolve it. No two ways about it. There'd be no messing about. But I think that might be a little bit hard line. That might be a bit far.
Like, so you can penalise a keeper by having him play the rest of the game with no gloves. I like that. Can you imagine that on a cold winter's night?
Yes, but if it goes down again, he's got to take his boots off.
And if he goes down again, what next?
Oh, I don't know. Let's move on from that.
Yeah, we've gone too far at this point.
Smarty's gone really bitter here. He's gone salty.
He hates everything, doesn't he?
Smarty says, Farke needs to go for next season. Too one-dimensional for me. Waits too long to make glaringly obvious changes. So I think the one-dimensional is a fair argument, because other than that purple patch in the middle of the season, I think it's fair to say either side of that. We've seen that. I think waits too long to make glaringly obvious changes is a truism. We've all seen that. Farke needs to go for next season. Where you landed on that bit?
I 100% agree with everything he said.
Okay.
I've changed.
Farke keeps us up, and we're in a position to sign much better players, but you still make a change in the gaffer. Yeah,
because what's the point of having a better squad if they still only get brought on 85 minutes or 80 minutes or whatever? What's the point? I want to see something a bit more dynamic. Like, I think Farke's great for the job he's done to get us where we are. I think, even though I'm complaining about him right now, he's done a great job this season. Like, being in the position we are with the games we've got left and stuff like that, we couldn't have asked for more. You know, we're now starting to worry a bit because it has been shaky. It has been, we've pissed away points in many games that we could have had there been better tactical decisions. So it swings and roundabouts. I'm starting to doubt that he's the guy that could take us forward like the way that Villa have gone forward and become a European side, and the way Brentford even are pushing to be that, even though they've gone kind of the longer route than Villa, but they're getting there now. And that's the progression you want to see when you come up to the Premier League. You want to be one of those teams that's starting to get in the mix. You don't have any illusions that you're going to be up in the top four, but you want to feel that you can build towards challenging that and that it's possible. And I'm not sure that Farke's got the vision for it. And I like him a lot, as I say, as a manager and what he's done for us as a person. He's great. I'm worried that we've found his ceiling now. I'm worried that he's kind of gone as far as he'll go, and it doesn't really matter what players he has. Yeah, he might win a few more games, but he's not going to challenge for anything.
Yeah,
because he's just not. He's not cutthroat enough to make those changes. You see the managers that win stuff; they're cutthroat as fuck.
To be fair, he's only one game away from Wembley in the FA Cup.
He is.
And how long ago has it been? How long has it been since we got to a semi-final of a cup?
I know, and I know this will probably upset some people, but I can give two fucks about getting Wembley in the FA Cup. I really couldn't. Yes,
I think if you told me we were going to stay up, I'd be all over it.
Staying up is the key. If we can stay up and have the cup, fuck me, that'd be a season that we'll remember forever. That'd be amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Does Farke still go?
Yeah.
You win the FA Cup and Farke still goes?
Yeah, cup tournament's not league football. You say, cheers, Daniel, you've done a fucking great job. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Off you go.
I can guarantee you right now, Farke wins some silverware this season, and the only thing that's left for us is the FA Cup. Unless you count staying up as silverware. He's still here next season, 100%. If
he wins the FA Cup, he's getting a 5-year contract. It doesn't matter what I think. You know what I mean? But I just don't think that we'll progress up the league with him that much. I think that better players and stuff, as I say, will get some better results, and he could make us into a really solid mid-table side. But I think that's as far as we'd go.
Yeah, but I'd take a solid mid-table side and a bit of a European, a few European away days next season. That'd be nice.
Me too. In the short term, I'm all right with it. If he didn't go next season, like, I wouldn't be kicking off going, fucking hell, why have we not got rid of him? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just like, fair enough. We'll have another crack, see what he does. I'd be all right with that. Long term, I don't think he'll take us where we want to go. But
and I think that's fair. You know, when you're talking long term, I think that's really fair. And I think, you look at genuine class coaches that have existed in this league, and you look at what Ancelotti did at Everton, and then you look at what Everton did after Ancelotti, and you're thinking, that's the difference that a true class manager can make at a club. Then you look at what Moyes did at West Ham and what West Ham did post Moyes. I think,
isn't it? Best managers will get levels of performance out of players that even the players themselves didn't know they were capable of.
Yeah, absolutely, and can influence games. Bielsa were another one actually that made changes late in games, but he had enough about him to overcome that anyway. So yeah, it's an interesting one. So personally, if we win the FA Cup and stay up, Farke's hit all of his objectives for the season.
Oh yeah, it would be harsh, like from a achievements point of view, like you say. You know, you couldn't ask any more of the guy, so it would be hard to turn around and say you've done really great.
Thanks for all your efforts.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But like I say, I'm not saying that he has to go. I'm not saying I'd be upset if he didn't go. Like I'll be fine. Long as
but you won't be upset if he did.
No, basically, I've been different. Like I like the guy, and I'm happy to keep going and see what he can do with some better players. I expect I'll feel some of the same frustrations that I felt this season, regardless of who the playing squad are.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so just a couple more comments for us to spin through. Scooby says, I like this. He says, I've had a Dragon's Den $1 million idea. You know those hats that are like a small umbrella? We need those on the spare balls. You know how Ampadu only takes the one that's not been on the floor because then it's drier. Put little brollies on them.
Fucking hell, fine, man. I was saying to somebody in the stand next to me, I was saying, can't we have like a Vaseline ball that we give to their player when they go to tackle one? Just like a sly one that we just like push in their direction. Be like this with it. It just won't clean up.
Yeah, but KO throws a crazy, aren't they? They are like an extra free kick or a corner.
I know. You
get some right whip on them, but yeah, it's another thing that you could do. This might be a gap in the market instead of having the cheap rings that you warm up with and whatever else. Get like a Dyson effect that puts hot air onto the ball and dries it.
Did what? Sorry.
Get a Dyson effect fan that puts hot air on the ball and dries it. The Premier League's got loads of money. There's a gap in the market there, Jay. Crack on with it.
They could have a little a station for it that's got like some kind of sign on it, and they go and they make a ceremony out of taking ball out of this thing, like it opens and some dry ice. You know, like when door opens on Red Dwarf or something. Be like that.
Oh, not
get this ball out. There
not stars in their eyes.
Oh yeah, even better, even better. I couldn't think of anything else with like a metal industrial type door. Then first thing that came to mind. But yeah, something like that. Make it into a spectacle. Off we go.
Okay, moving on. So I like the idea, but Steve Brown says some fans are moaning about the draws we've had. Us, Spurs and West Ham have all won 7 games. It's the extra draws we've had that are keeping us out of the bottom 3.
It's a good point.
Well, a draw is a point. Yeah, you're right. Isn't the frustration, though, that some of those could quite easily have been turned into wins and then we'd be nowhere near the bottom 3?
The thing that twists my mind is like stuff like Fulham with the Gabby own goal, where we went from a game we should have won to losing.
Yeah. Sunderland?
There's a fair few points, yeah. There's at least 10 points
abject at our place. Recently,
they
were awful.
Like Brentford.
Terrible.
Nothing great.
So, just those. It's at Bournemouth, Spurs earlier in season. There's about 15 points available to us if we, it's difficult, isn't it?
I really dislike playing Bournemouth at home now. I don't like them.
Well, I mean, they're playing red, so we don't like them anyway. I think I get what he's saying, because actually a point against the side going for Europe, on the face of it, when you're struggling at the bottom of the table and trying to stay out of the bottom 3, that looks like a good point. It will be a good point when we play Spurs, Wolves, West Ham. If we win those, the Brentford point will look brilliant. Won't it?
Yeah, so if that's what keeps us ahead of them, it will.
Yeah, exactly. So I do get Steve's point, and I think it's a fair point. But I think the other side to it is the frustration is not turning 1 or 2 more of those draws into wins, and then that's such a massive difference in it.
Yeah, when you look at those last 2 games, like that's 1 point from 6 that we could have had.
Yeah,
like there were 6 points there to be taken.
Yeah.
And that's what's pissing me off. That's what's got me worried about, are we back to pre-City form? Has Farke changed back to what he used to do?
And if you look at the table,
just a lull?
That'd put us on 39 points. We wouldn't go up anywhere in the table at all.
It's mad, that, isn't it? But we'd be all right.
We'd be joint with Palace. And we'd be 10 points clear of the bottom 3. It's incredible.
Have you just turned up, Herbert? Fucking hellfire. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like we're in that mini league now, aren't we? Separated from the rest. And it's like us, Forest, West Ham. Who's the other one that's there? Spurs. Easy to forget. And yeah, I mean, Burnley lost, didn't they? So that I think puts an end to any hopes they had. Because they were having a little
Wolves have won 2 and drawn 1 in the last 3.
Wolves just want to finish above Burnley, I think, so they can say, "Ah, shit are you lot?"
Well, they're only 3 points behind them now. But the worst bit about it is we've still to play Wolves, and now they're playing really well.
I know. This is something that annoys me.
They've got West Ham next.
They've
got to play West Ham, and then they play us.
We always seem to fall on the wrong side of these things when teams change managers or they pick up form, whatever. We always seem to get the wrong side of it.
But that is Wolves' next 3 games. I don't know if you've seen that. It's West Ham and then us and then Spurs.
So Wolves are basically the kingmakers.
Yeah, absolutely that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who knew that Wolves have that power in their hands at this point?
And then last game of the season is Burnley. So everybody that's down there, if Wolves somehow were to win all of those 3, 6, 9, 12 against them 4, I mean, surely they're out of it. But you give them 12 points, and they're on 29, which is what West Ham are on. They're only playing the sides that are right down there, and they are playing well at the minute. But I can't see it. I just really hope we get those points.
Yeah, I mean, but you're saying that in a kind of way where they're going to get those points. But that also relies on no one else getting it, like West Ham not getting it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And that's not going to happen, is it? I don't know if you listen to propaganda.
It would be nice, actually. It would be nice if West Ham didn't get a point for the rest of the season. I would take that.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. I'd love that. That Wolves guy, though, that they have on propaganda sometimes, that Dave fella, do you know what I mean?
I can't think of it. It's been a little while since I've listened to
he has his old dad with him, and like his dad still seems to think they could get out of it somehow. He's like, "Oh, you never know if we win these games." It's like, fucking hell, man.
It's the hope that kills you.
Nobody could think that at this point, surely.
Last starred comment that we've got, so I'll get some more in if you want. He's Paul Brennan. Leeds play the best football, playing on the front foot at pace, and Danny Farke knows that, especially at Ellen Road. Our defence is good, but we need to be scoring goals. Fair. I think that is fair, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So I think so. Just a couple of questions then. So first question for you, I'm going to give you an opportunity to sign anybody you want from Brentford. Who do you take?
From Brentford, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. I can only remember about 3 players' names now off the top of my head, and I don't know.
So as long as you're not signing Jordan Henderson, any answer is good.
It won't be him though, because you know what I mean. I back at the start of the season, I just said I'd took the keeper.
Yeah, I think we all wanted Kelleher before we signed for him.
We need Kelleher, but I don't know if he's as good as we thought he was.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're in 7th, so he must be doing all right. He didn't look amazing against us, did he? He looked a bit like meh.
And he cheated.
He didn't really have much to do, so.
Yeah, I mean, he made a lot more saves than Darlow had to, didn't he? But
he did, but I mean, he didn't have to do any serious.
It was fairly straightforward.
And he went like all over the place, and fair play to Darlow for bloody hell for a guy his age as well. Some reflexes on him.
Yeah,
amazing. Some
saves he's doing well. Recently. Yeah, he's playing well.
He's settled in quite nicely in goal. We were worried. I think first, weren't we? But
agreed.
Settled down.
And we all expected Perry to be number 1 all season.
That calm is nice, though. It's a big part of why we're doing all right, I think.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's testament to the professionalism that Darlow's got. Is that he just kept going. Yeah. Perry made a couple of mistakes. Scum game sticks out, and a couple of others where he stuck on his line instead of coming out, and then there were ones where he came out and then stopped. And he's like, oh, and I think it was that more than anything else.
Stop. Oh.
Yeah, well, that was Scum one, wasn't it?
Don't ever commit and then don't.
Yeah, if you commit, you've committed.
Yeah, you either commit and you fuck it up, or you don't commit. You don't half and half, because then you have fucked it.
You're just having no man's land, and that's exactly what happened against the Scum, isn't it? McCuney that scored past him. So I think for me, I'd be happy with any of their front 3, to be honest. I think Sharda is very pacey, good on the ball. Utara's the same. And Thiago's probably going to be going to the World Cup and playing at number 9 for Brazil, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I think he's got 17 this season, which is remarkable, really. So, yeah, I'd be happy with any of their front three, I guess. And just the other question, because we didn't touch upon it at the time, is your Leeds man of the match?
Fucking hell. Oh, God.
And I didn't know until I watched the highlights in preparation for this who'd been given man of the match, but mine did echo that.
I can't even remember if anyone stood out. I've erased this game from my brain and I'm reliving it as we talk about it, but I can't remember actually walking away and thinking they did great today. I'm just going to pull some out of nowhere. I'll just say Ampadu, even though I don't remember him particularly doing much.
Who what Ampadu?
What? Fucking
yeah.
I don't remember anyone doing anything really standout.
Yeah, and mine was Ampadu. And if you look at SofaScore, the closest score to him was Biol at 7.5 and Struijk at 7.5. Bogle got a 7.4 and Rodon got a 7.3. Ampadu got an 8.2.
Couple in comments picking Biol.
Yeah. But yeah, Ampadu was the only one to get anything above 7.5 and he got 8.2. So he's quite, in terms of the and I know that that's rather based on stats rather than the eye test and doing anything particular in the game, although it bumps up if you score or get an assist. But
I didn't score that, so you'd think it'd have stood out, but it's just I don't remember much in my brain other than him taking some long throws.
Yeah, no, there were quite a few times that he just stepped in, broke up play. He did do a little bit of that getting forward as well. One thing that
none of those fine details of the game are in my brain now. None of those little bits.
I mean, it wasn't a memorable game, so I'm not surprised. No. No, I think it is difficult in a game like that. That is a bit not a war of attrition, but very little in terms of attacking intent.
Yeah.
So how do you pick out one person? It is quite difficult.
Yeah, I know. It's difficult. I don't know if I'm happy as well, after that we now have the break, then a cup game before a league game. I mean, maybe it's a good thing to play a game that won't fuck us up if we don't win it as the first one back. I don't know. After a game like the Brentford one, it always leaves me so annoyed that we could have got something and did nothing with it. And I just want to go again. I don't want to see us win a game. Do you know what I mean? I just want to get back and win a game, but I want to see us win a league game.
Yeah, but equally, if we'd have beaten Brentford, you wouldn't have wanted a break because then
I wouldn't.
Off the back of a win, and I want to get into next one.
That's what we like.
So,
when it's going well, you just want to keep it going. When it's going bad, you just fuck's sake, get a win. I
mean, I don't know if you've seen any of it, but the Spurs fans are crying out for this break.
Fucking, they want rid of him, don't they?
Yeah, it's just incredible. It's ludicrous.
Who do you bring in at this point, though? If it happened to us, who do you bring in? Do you know what I mean? There's no one that stands out now. Is there someone who's going to come in and fix a club? Because all the people that used to be those people have all failed in recent seasons.
Well, Nuno's the one, isn't he? I don't think he's the one that you bring in at the end of the season, but Nuno's one of those that you do take a punt on earlier in the season to get you through a tough patch. So
he's
West
a
Ham bringing him in,
guy.
Yeah, West Ham bringing him in. I looked at that and thought, yeah, it's a good appointment. But it was a bit of a surprise to me that they've not done as well as I expected. But it would be. They've not done. West Ham have not done quite as well as I expected under Nuno. I expected him to turn around a bit more.
So.
All right. But how good will it be? I would love Spurs to go down.
Oh, me too.
And I think West Ham going down would be quite funny.
I just want to see Spurs go as a case study. I just want to see what happens.
Well, yeah, there's a bit of that, but there's also the two of them in those grounds in the Championship. It'd be
amazing, wouldn't it? It'd be amazing.
But so I think Spurs going down would just be incredible. That'd be amazing. And potentially Archie comes home as well as a nice little boost.
Imagine winning a European trophy. And you're thinking, yeah, we had a shit season at league, but we've just won the European trophy. Next season, I tell you what, fucking Champions League, let's go. Let's get some signings in, proper manager, and then you end up getting relegated. It'd be like they'd be wandering around bewildered, Spurs fans. Like,
well, have you seen any pictures of them recently when they've been watching it? Because it's so abject. It's so funny. It's really fun. And I know that could come back and bite us, but it's so funny. But I also think that there would be delicious irony if at the end of the season it's Forest that go down and West Ham that stay up, and Forest sacked Nuno and West Ham brought Nuno in.
It would be so funny.
What I'm saying is I'm going to find it dead entertaining, whoever goes down, as long as it's not us.
As long as it's not us, yeah. I'm right there with you. Like, with us taken out of it, it's actually quite fascinating.
It is. It really is.
It's been a long time since
we just can't enjoy it at this point.
Yeah. It's been a long time since we've had a close battle at the bottom, because it's been the case with the last 2 seasons, all 3 teams going back down, and they've all been cut adrift. No one's made a real fist of it. They've all been kind of crap and cut off from early doors, and it's been very evident that there were a big gulf between those teams and Premier League teams, and it's nice to see that that's now been mixed up a bit, and that teams from Championship can come up and have a go, and hopefully we can do that. And I'm happy enough for Sunderland to stay up too, as long as we don't go, because it's just nice to see some of the old clubs back in there, and to see different teams and not just the same people staying there, being comfortable, creaming getting the cream off the top and getting. No, you're right.
Comfortable is the right word, because last season and the season before, you didn't see anything like the number of managers, the merry-go-round that you have this season, and the reason for that is us and Sunderland.
Yeah, there were no dangers.
Because they all know that if they're 4th bottom, actually they're not anymore. Because Spurs did finish 4th bottom. They were the worst side not to get relegated from the Premier League last season. And the Scum were only one ahead of them.
How many points did they finish on?
No, I don't know. Now you're asking.
It's like 42 or something.
I mean, it was quite a big difference. But they were 4th bottom. You have a look.
It's 25-26 on it. Why is it showing me?
Yes, that's this season. 25-26 is this season.
Yeah, that's right. 24-25. Messes with my brain.
It's all right, I've got it here. They finished on 38.
There you go. 38?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now.
But Leicester were 18th and went down on 25.
Their last 5 games as well were like lost, draw, lost,
1 point.
Yeah. It's just unreal, isn't it? That like it's just our luck that it's been that bad. Yeah. Every time we're not there.
Yeah.
And what are we on now? We got 32 or something.
And West Ham on their points now are better off than all 3 of the relegated and obviously the promoted ones, because it was all 3 that went down again from last season. It's just incredible.
It's mind blowing, isn't it? It's just crazy that it can differ from one season to the next so dramatically.
Yeah. So I feel like we're padding a little bit now, and we're moving into that territory where we're kind of moving into main pod conversation stuff. Anything else to cover off from the Brentford game then?
Special shout out to Bryn, who were extra angry afterwards and apparently booted someone's pint over in Peacock. He booted the table, to be fair, and the pint went with it. But I got there just after, and Smarty went, "Oh, you're not in a mood as well, are you? You're not going to start." I was like, "Why? What's happened?" I was like, I was pissed off, but not that pissed off.
Not pissed off enough to kick somebody else's pint over themselves.
No. On my walk across from the ground to the Peacock, though, I found a £5, so it wasn't a terrible.
Oh,
day.
Nice.
So
3 pints.
Some positivity, yeah.
That'll do.
That's about all I've got.
No, that's fair. Steve Brown's just come up with the last thing I was going to say, the tribute to Chris and Kev.
Yes, thank you, Steve.
I thought that it was observed well at kickoff. In the West Stand, there were a lot of tourists, very, very puzzled faces when we turned round, and there were people directly behind me that I were facing, and they were just looking back at me, and I'm like, just read the room, guys. Just turn round.
Yeah. You might not know what's happening, but when everybody does something, it tends to make sense to just go with it.
And then one of them got nudged by the guy next to him, and he did turn round, and then he looked over his shoulder at what were going on pitch, and his mate gave him a click round back at head. So I didn't have to say a thing, so that was fine. But no, it was the club are good at it, and I would say fair play to Brentford because they were respectful of it, and no issues there. I was in, like I say, I was at the other end of the West Stand, so I didn't see the Brentford fans, but seemed like it was a good tribute all round. So
yeah, I think they'd behave themselves. I didn't hear anything weird from the wedge, so
no, that's fair.
We did have a guy in the wedge who was like a conductor on the walkway behind where I am, because I'm just ahead of the middle bit.
Yeah.
He were out at front, and he's trying to get everyone singing for a bit, and he were all over the place, this lad, and then 10 minutes later, look around, he'd gone over to the other bit, where he goes round towards where shipping containers start, and he's over there, he's took top off at this point, he's conducting them, and he's like nearly going downstairs behind him, and I thought, well, at least someone's having fun at this game. He wasn't watching any game.
Probably the only one having fun. Yeah, no, fair. Right at the start of the game, because whenever I'm sat down, I like to get in a bit earlier. When you stood up, it don't matter. But when everybody sat down, I hate getting there last and then having to get everybody to get up and
Excuse me.
Yeah,
cheers.
exactly.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So
sorry. Excuse me.
We go a little bit early when we sat down, and there were some Irish fellas that came in, a younger and an older. I don't know if they were dad and son or what, but when I say younger, he was about 30 and his dad were maybe in his 50s if it was his dad. Yeah. And he went down and he had a photo taken with Lucas the Cop Cat, and his dad was stood directly in front of me. And the Irish kid were going, I say kid, like I say, but maybe early 30s. And he was going, nah, I'm still a kid. And everybody around were having a good laugh and cracking on and giving him some stick. And all kids were around as well because they were all getting photos as well.
Yeah.
Because his dad was directly in front of me, I couldn't see anything on the phone. But he stood and he put his thumb up, and Lucas had his thumbs up.
Yeah.
And his dad's got his phone there, and he just stayed there like that. And I'm
like you're videoing.
No. I would really hoping that he was just taking the piss and he was just going to see just how long it took him to move out of this. And I was really hoping for it. No, he did. Honestly, it was like a minute. And he went, yeah, all done. And they walked off. But I was just really hoping that he was just waiting for his mate to go, for fuck's sake, will you get on?
Yeah.
All these kids around. But no, I thought the tribute to Chris and Kev was good. Mick Jones getting his award was really good. Couldn't hear anything he said because the tannoy system's shy.
Obviously, I didn't see that because I was scraping just as it started.
Well, yeah. So yeah, it was a bit of that, but obviously we were going to kick off at on time, weren't we? Having been fined something £500,000 for 20 seconds. Goalkeepers can go down for nothing, but we get fined £500,000 for 20 seconds later kickoff. But
something else they can slap us with. Jordan Pickford can take a full minute to take a ball and then put it back into play again. But whatever.
Bastards. So on that note, there will be a main pod tomorrow, I would think.
Well, it was supposed to be. It might end up being Wednesday or Thursday with this being tonight now.
Yeah, I suppose.
But we'll put it out on.
But also, there's an international break, so we might push it out to next week. So there'll be a main pod at some point.
that might be a shout. To be fair,
that
might be a shout.
There'll be a main pod
to talk about than we did today.
No. So there'll be a main pod coming up at some point. We'll be able to watch. So you look at some of the players that we've got going away, and we've got quite a few. So there'll be talking points next week about hopefully everybody gets through it without any injury.
DCL's England goals.
So we'll call it there. I want to say thank you to Jay for joining me tonight. Always a pleasure. Thank you for everybody getting involved in the comments. It does make it flow. When nothing happens in the game, it's great to get some commenting because it helps things flow. And we will see you again shortly. And now I'm really going to have to part because I've not got the outro ready. And now I do. So thank you again. We'll see y'all soon.
It's all the know better. We all the know much better than letting Carl go on with Jay. Luke's calling out bad weathers, and Smarty is no better, and Gailey gets fan mail again. but every time we go live,
shit take has been
can't speak or even tell the time.
fire.
It's more a toys out the pram.
It's all
If I see his mother in
we
the
all know
stands,
much better.
I'm
This
gonna crack
ends
an egg
your
in her.
hole for tonight.
It's starting.
And if you like these
Here we
weapons
go.
and you don't think that
One last
balance,
rant,
please go check out our merch site. Good
He's a
night.
little tosser, and I hate him. He's shit. He's average, and he's a shit house.